Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to start your engines on the Mario Circuit map, a custom expert map that we're going to tackle today with a strategy I have in mind that I think will do pretty well here is the Lower the Abyss plus Carpet Spike combo. I may have shown this a couple times in boss events, but not really in chimps, I don't think. Anyway, let me just show you how this map goes. As you see, 3 lanes up top, 3 lanes on the bottom exiting. And what's cool about it is that the balloons are basically playing Mario Kart. You can see they take the circuit that way, and then the speed ramp over here makes the balloons go faster. That's the gist of it. For context on this map, it's actually part of the BTD6 map list, aka expert list, over in the medium expert category. And these maps are essentially similar to the level of difficulty that you see on Sanctuary and Flooded Valley. Once again, there is a playlist of coverage of these expert map list maps, so check it out if you haven't already. But heading back to it, the ultimate heroes that we should not use are Geraldo and Corvus. And because this map is so hard early game, they even give you a YouTube video. Yes, a YouTube video showing the round 6 start. So we're going to basically follow that to get through. I mean, when it's that precise, you know you're in for a rough early game. And beating this map by the end will notch me several more points on the expert list leaderboard, which, as you see right now, currently sitting in 78th place. And again, what's cool about this website, which I'll link, is that it shows you all the previous completions. So we're over now on our 7th map, 8th map. Is it weird that I have a more fun time filling out the profile on this website than I do, like, on my actual BTD6 profile? Anyway, back to the game itself. So I have done plenty of expert list maps in a lower category already, or rather a higher difficulty. Like, we've done a high, extreme, and true. However, just like in the bedroom, we're bouncing up and down between difficulties. So to show you what at least the YouTube video showed for the round 6 start on last, back to first, and I messed up. Okay, like this. First, there we go. And so that resets Sniper, so it's able to shoot again. Now, I tried this round many times, and I actually couldn't do it with whatever the YouTube strategy showed. So I found my own kind of working strategy instead, and that's to switch to Strong. The YouTube guide said to switch to Last on the Sniper, but I found more success this way. Yeah, talk about cutting it close. Anyway, we have enough for another Dart Monkey, but I don't know where to want to place it. Is here sufficient? Still doesn't see the outer lane, so a bit worried about that. Now, I'll tell you one thing for sure, is that Flood Valley or Sanctuary has nowhere near the difficulty, like early game difficulty. If it were up to me, I would love if the early game was easier than the late game for these kind of maps, but it is what it is. I do love the concept of it. Again, a Mario Circuit type map where the balloons are playing the game, and we're trying to stop them from winning, getting a lap complete. We'll do a second Sniper now, and that should pretty much do it for the early game, and should allow us to get Striker at some point, I hope. Now, on a semi-related tangent, I'm actually not really that big of a Mario fan, if at all. Probably not a surprise to some of you. Some of you probably think, yeah, that's expected. I'm not a fan of anything other than balloons. That's actually not the case. I think I've shared before that, like, I grew up mostly playing Flash games, and that's why Bloons was probably one of my favorite kind of games growing up. Just whatever you could find on Y8, ARM games, or that kind of shit. But on top of that, I did have access to a PS1, and I played Crash Team Racing on there, which was probably my favorite console game growing up. So do have a little bit of racing game experience there, but just not in the Mario version. Only the OG CTR, which, not gonna lie, I feel like it still holds up to this day. Anyway, we got Striker down quite a while ago, obviously. If you can get through the early game with him, you absolutely should bring him, because that's 25% more Pierce, and so 25% more damage in your endgame Carpet Spike strategy. I feel with Mermonkey being OP, I just find a time to drop it. I think I definitely need something for the outer lane. That seems to leak by far the most amount of things, but look at Striker go. He's able to clutch the third lane. I'd say the biggest issue of this strategy is really not the late game. As expected with a 40k tower, it's how to save up into that thankfully, with Mermonkey's range Echo Sense buff, I think a spam strategy, like Lord of the Abyss can carry into it. I'm dead serious. So because right now, if I just bought a Lord of the Abyss here, it would have no coverage on the third lane. But if I bought Bottom Path, Echo Sense, and then got 10 Mermonkeys with that, then it'd have pretty nasty coverage. And so that's why I'm just basically spamming 0, 0, 0 Mermonkeys kind of on the outskirts, because they're good early game. I probably should get a real early game tower at some point, though. But for now, 0, 0, 1 should carry quite a big punch. If we're struggling, I'm just going to keep on adding one more at a time. Camo is no issue, Mermonkey sees them. All that being said, I wonder if we can get through the early game without actually getting a real mid-game tower. And by that, I just mean... I don't really see Abyss Dweller as a mid-game carry, but it just might. By mid-game, I mostly mean the 30s, by the way. So right here. I can afford a Abyss Dweller now, but obviously, it's got pretty ass cheeks range. But right now I only have one stack, but I can buy a lot in the middle round. We'll see. No discount kind of sucks, but I'm hopeful this could kind of work the more stacks we give. So 2 right now. Let's not even worry about trying to discount. Just keep on buying it. It worked for that round, so that's a good sign. It's official. This strategy just might be the dumbest, but also most effective of all time. 6 stacks right about now. And I think it actually sees lane 3, which is great because, again, the Abyss Dweller has such high pierce, so it can defend those tough rounds like 35 and potentially 36. And if we do struggle, we have Striker's ability to get us through. Let's see. Yeah. It's so much coverage that they don't get through. Even though the balloon speed is incredibly high. Just got too much range to let anything pass. This is crazy. I'll chill at 8 for now, though. I'm pretty sure this is enough. I need to save for mob damage right now. I don't think Abyss Dweller has it. Unless we could somehow afford this a warrior. That'll slow things down. And do a bit more. Oh my god, $25? I can afford it. Now, I'll go back if this doesn't work. Let's see. Mob takes the middle lane. Oh, it's definitely gonna work. Oh man, that spam, like, really helps out. Mermonkey's doing 2 at a time, times 8 of them. Either that or Abyss Warrior does have high damage. So, indeed, our mid-game, early game is the Mermonkey. I'm impressed. And now we get a village, which essentially counts as another Echo Sense stack, as that is also range. We'll get Jungle Drums to make it shoot a little bit faster. And we'll see if you can afford, like, just jump straight to Lord of the Abyss. Why not? This is working better than I ever thought it would be. And that kind of speaks to why I am bouncing around difficulties. Not just because I want an easy time, but it's because, like, once you get to the really high expert list, or the map list, which is the step above the expert list, then these strategies are very limiting. Essentially, you kind of almost always have to use Geraldo with the number 1 or number 2 meta strategy. But on these easier difficulty maps, you can kind of experiment and play around with not quite the most optimal, but very fun and very effective. Yes, I'm essentially saying that this is not even necessarily an optimal. Again, once you get to really hard maps, you have no wiggle room. You cannot get away with this kind of tomfoolery. Oh god, there was one mob that went on the short lane, and that seems to be the issue. So I guess I have to save Striker ability for any mobs that go that way. But can I make another 10k like that? I'm not sure. But here we go. I gotta use it right now. Jeez, that's a huge speed up. But we should clutch up. Nice. Okay, be careful again. Another Striker ability. If I'm lacking the damage to beat it, I might just finish off the next 2 stacks. That might be the difference maker. Although, just give me Loda and all will be forgiven. Stun here. And another survival. Trust me when I'm saying I'm actually having a lot more fun playing BT6 on these expert maps than usual. Lord of the Abyss has been afforded now, and we should just go for the 10 stacks. Now, there is placeable land over here, but I don't know if I want to use 2 Mermonkeys, like, over there. Because maybe I want to discount something else later, so we'll throw these aside. They don't really do any damage anyway. And there is our massive 10 stack Lord of the Abyss now. I wonder if there's a place to put Outbuff, because right now I think my Carpet Spike should be somewhere about here. Or actually, with how big the Lord of the Abyss range is, I could put it, like, behind. Also, not so fast, there are Camelot, so yeah, now's a good time to go for the spike, the lead spike. Because ultimately, I don't think it really matters, like, where the main spikes are. It does matter up until getting Carpet Spikes, but I think until then, it's fine. Also, I'm just gonna do AMD, hopefully some land on the Loda. Alternatively, I'll just give Camo Detection to Striker Jones. That seems like more reliable than, yeah, rolling the 1 in 3 chance, of which we didn't get any. Okay, let me do Cleansing Foam, because this can be turned into possibly Overclock later if I want to buff Lord of the Abyss. But for now, this'll do. This can get most of the lanes, and all the Camo LEDs, yeah. If I miss a couple, F it. 1-1-0, Sniper then. I'm done. Alright, F-mobs this round. Thankfully, this one lands on that lane, and this one also reaches. It's only if it's on lane 3, then they definitely don't reach. But hopefully by the time that's an issue, got Spike Storm. Besides, the long path has the most coverage for Loda to hit at this point. What a long way it's come from not being able to hit at all to being probably the most effective at working that lane. Still no Spike Storm. Damn, that goes so hard. I'm talking about the Mope Shredder. Right, it's going so hard because we have 40% Pierce plus 25. So, go figure. Like, almost twice as strong as Spike Factory is cleaning up very well. Now, just for some reference, the all-time save-up on this map is about $83,000. I'm pretty sure Carpet Spikes plus, like, this right now already puts me under that amount spent. Like, this is already too much. But I struggle to see that once I afford Carpet Spikes, like, what am I even going to die to? I feel like this just carries all the way through. And that's what makes this map, again, I think, a medium expert. It's because the lanes are so long. Then once you do get towers to be able to handle all 3 lanes at once, then you're set. And it becomes a map easier than Flooded Valley or Sanctuary. Definitely, if not for that early game, probably would be 1 difficulty even lower than that. This is essentially what happens when you give towers that aren't supposed to have a lot of range, almost infinite range. Becomes so silly. 8k to go. Super SRAM spawned this round, but I don't think there's much of an issue against that either, yeah. Good there. I'm on 10x fast forward, by the way. And there it is. Easy. So again, I failed to see what we can possibly die to, especially because spikes that land on one lane can still hit another lane because of the hitbox of these blimps here. Guess we'll just sit back, relax, and enjoy the last 15 rounds of this. And if it's easy enough, again, we could go deeper. I think this strategy is probably worthy of seeing how it would work past round 100, but I would need to get definitely a lot more, because the issue, even with if you give a lot of Pierce, it's that you will still have limited Moab Pierce with this strategy. So it's not very effective against like round 103, 111. But for these vanilla rounds, absolutely. If we have enough Spear Cash, probably a Call to Arms or Homeland would be ideal. But again, I guess the Lord of the Abyss and its really high Pierce counteracts the shortcomings of Carpet Spikes. This thing can pretty much has enough mold damage to, I think, handle low-class balloons. Okay, now hold up. Round 94 here. I see the ZMGs are finally kind of making a move. So, yeah, I might need to buy a little bit more. Maybe something to slow them down. Especially on that last lane. 95 should be no issue at all. Just the high RBE stuff that I'm worried about. So, over here, officer. We'll use as many striker abilities as possible to keep those ZMGs at bay. With them being 3 lanes, it kind of looks like they're coming out in a cluster rather than, you know, one at a time if it was a single lane. Makes it look kind of funky. 56k now, yeah. If I don't spend anything, I'll be close to the record, but not quite there. Now for 98. This is going to be an interesting one. I'll use my 1 carpet ability right now, but that might be a little bit premature, yeah? Yeah, I'm definitely dead. Okay, time to rethink. What can I spend to just get out of this round? Let's see. How about I use a carpet in the middle? Still buy nothing. Pretty sure buying nothing is bad. Yeah, I gotta get 100% something. So buy one thing at a time. Number one, just a simple 013 glue. That's all. How much is slowing down the biggest ZMGs help me? I think a pretty substantial amount. Gotta do back-to-back carpets over here. Lane 2 just barely. Wait. Oh my god, Lord of the Abyss almost clutched that with its insane range. Can you believe it? Okay, Alpha buff Lord of the Abyss. Surely a little bit of extra attack speed won't hurt. We'll use a carpet here. A little bit earlier than my intention. Oh god. Wow. Down to the last spike on lane 2. We gotta top up those on that lane. Oh, also, Striker has to be in first. Remember, he has ceramic knockback, so don't be afraid to use it. And this is going to work, I think. Just gotta hold off for one more ability. No, almost. Attempt number 25 or something like that. Again, it didn't need to take 25 attempts, but I'm trying to at least keep a respectable amount left over. If I spend all my 70k banked up, that would be kind of embarrassing. I think this does it, though. Yep. It's down to this. And Lord of the Abyss can clean this up, finally. Also, we're spending like $12,000 this round. Ah, well. We'll be close to 60k by the end of this, so, I mean, it's not bad. Not bad for supposedly a top 10 strategy in the game, but it's not top 1, 2, or 3, I don't think. Either way, still incredibly effective, and I highly recommend you try this out yourself. Quick encore. How much longer can I survive if I did go a little bit more all out? So, Gold Arms, and we'll go ahead and see how well this fares. Oh yeah, definitely this round. Oh my god, see that? This is an absolutely ridiculous amount of Moabs, and it barely held on there. Jeez, I think without Homeland, I'm cooked. Yeah, okay, I changed my mind. Definitely don't use a strategy past round 100. Oh my god, is the carpet really falling off? Yeah, by all accounts, we're pretty much done here. I even added 2 Sabos to buy us more time, but that's not helping either. I have to use every single ability this round, and I am so probably dead next round to the incoming, I think, infinite BFBs and Moabs. Another Sabo here. This is a disaster. Yeah, GG. Okay, not too fast. I can still survive. This is a bunch of weak balloons, so not as bad as ZMG is. Okay, we got a little bit more life in me than I expected. The key is really just more ZMG defense. So main mob here, and another mob press. I'm out of spots in the middle for them, so I have to resort to some D tier spots, but they still work. The final boss of free play. If we can get through 111, then we can get through the rest. This is the true test here. So much RB, but I pretty much have not much more money to spend. I try to find some even worse spots for a mob press, but how much is this really gonna do? If we die, we die. No more retries. We have all the stalling in the world, but I don't think I can keep up with the density. We do have another CTA though, so maybe once there's less balloons, yeah, we can kind of handle them indefinitely, I feel like. Yeah? Yeah. Worn off, but we have another, another Sabo now. And okay, mission successful, I think. We have conquered free play. Just when I thought we probably couldn't get too much more out of the strategy, I was wrong. And now for the final round all test, 119. I think we can do three bads. I just went for two first strikes, just for some extra damage, although frankly, I think probably a Spike Stern would have been better with Lord of the Abyss, but ah well. Number 1's good, number 2 is also good, and so is probably number 3. Not so fast. ZMGs are at the exit. I'm just gonna Sabo them to death, if need be. Another one, and another one for safe measures. Okay, good. Waiting for the last damage phase to blow my last 10k damage. Now? Nice, BFBs, and that'll do it. That'll do it, ladies and gents. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoy this custom map content, click here for more and let me know.